Hey everyone, it's Adele and April from Just Say Scrap with Close to My Heart, and we are here with our 44th Technique Tuesday. So if you were with us last week, you know that we started our Story by Stacy album. So that is what we are going to be continuing this week and next week. And so I guess that's all of our introduction. So here we go. And we are back with Story by Stacy. So we are using, remember, our Story Starter workbook. If you weren't with us last week, make sure you go and watch last week's video so you are all caught up. Last week we did the prepare, step 1, and we started step 2. So if you can see, we've actually finished filling out our 2 columns here. We have a few blank spaces, but our stories basically tell themselves with that. So we didn't feel the need to actually write anything down for those. If you have some like that, great. If you want to write everything down on here, perfect. So we are going to continue with step 2 first. So I'm going to fold this up like this, put this off to the side a little, and move all this to now. Ooh, it doesn't like being folded like that. Okay. We'll leave it like this. So we have our new fancy handy dandy Fiskars cutter here. And as we're going along, I'm going to be calling out the names. Mom will give me the picture. I will cut them down to a 4x4 because this whole album is a 4x4. You can see we've actually laid out what we have to do a little bit. So I've put all the cards in where they're supposed to go. And we will cut those pictures down to get them in that album. So we are going to start with hiking. So this is our hiking picture. If you want to hear a little bit about our stories while we're going along, I'll tell you. And before I start cutting this is actually a great cutter because this line right here is 4 inches. So I'm going to line all my photos up with this to see what I want. And I'm going to try not to cut off that canyon as much. So see, it gives you the perfect line. And then it cuts so nicely. So I'm doing all of my pictures in 4. But this is us hiking. If you don't know what this is Arches National Park. So my mother was terrified, but we got her out there. She's right there. So
30 years.
Yes, it did. So our photos might be a little bit smaller than the 4 inches just because of the way that they printed, but that's okay too because we have that extra paper to back them on and embellishing works as well. So there's our hiking. So we can feel accomplished and check. All right.
And if you wanted to make notes of your photos, you can just write a note of what your photo is.
Yep, so we're gonna go through this quickly and then we will go on to the next topic. All right, and those are all of our pictures. So we have, I think, 9 pictures here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep, 9 pictures here, and they all have been checked off. So woohoo, we finished this step. All right, so going on to step 3. Each topic and group of supporting details from the chart will be a different memory to record on a lined story card. That is these. So, begin to transfer your memories onto the line story cards using complete sentences and writing as you would speak. Your story starter album has space to record up to 9 memories, including a 4x4 photo and story card. 4x4 photo, story card. There are 18 line story cards included in this kit, so you can make a rough draft of each memory before writing a final copy. Be sure to use a black journaling pen when you write your final copy. And that's where our Le Pen comes into place. Creative tip. If you have an extra space on your story card, try adding stamped words, images, and highlights using coordinating stamp sets. This is a great way to add colorful, personal touch to your pages. So I wanted to show you the 2 stamp sets. We've got this one here. I've got this one here, and you can see the artwork that has been done with these stamps. And we are going to be using this stamp. So we are going to use this one for our fun, and also because it is convention, we are going to be using this one as well, just because that's what our convention theme was. So unfortunately you can't buy this one, but you can purchase the Stories by Stacy one. So those are the two we're going to be using. So we are actually going to put our own little spin on this. Instead of using the extra 9 cards, we are actually going to save the 9 cards, and we are going to end up putting our photos on them in the end and embellishing a little bit more that way, because some of our pictures are not true 4x4s, so that's what we've planned on doing, right, Mama?
That's right.
So we have a little notebook here where we're actually going to start to write our memories down. So let's, just for an example, we'll do one of them. So why don't we do Close to My Heart? Because we're close to my heart, right?
Yeah, that's
so
right.
So we'll start with that memory. Remember, these do not have to be in the order that they're written down. They will change as you're going along and putting them in your book. So it's good to use all individual sheets for your photos and for your journaling, so you can change them around and they're not stuck on one sheet.
Right.
So let's start with Close to My Heart. So how we are going to do this is writing Close to My Heart.
Okay. Close to my heart.
So as we're also going through this, we are going to be looking at our stamps and whatever we have as well, because this is going to give you a base too. So some of them you might want to write a full page of a blog or whatever, but as you can actually see in our idea book here, like this one, it says the best things, and it's actually a bullet point. So you don't have to necessarily write out full paragraphs for each of these. So for Close to My Heart, since it was in Utah and we were telling our story, we can use our Utah stamp that they gave us actually at convention, and we can put Who Tells Your Story right up top. So we might just want to block out a space for that so we know that that's where it's going to be. And then, what is our story at convention, right, Mom?
Right.
So what do you think when you think of convention this year?
Okay. Well, last year, actually.
Oh, last year. Excuse me.
The most exciting thing for me was going to see the home office in Utah.
Yes.
And actually getting to walk through and seeing Jeanette Litton's office and the creative area where everybody scrapbooks and has fun. I want to be there.
Yeah, it was super cool. So what we actually picked, because you know you want people to know your story, but you only are using one photo, we picked this photo for our convention, our Close to My Heart page. So looking at that, I think it gives a pretty good idea that we are at home office, right?
Yes.
So we'll write a small story, like, yes, at convention this year we did the 5K like we usually do, and Sticky Boy made an appearance where he proposed to Sticky Girl.
Yes.
But the biggest draw on this convention was going to the home office, and that's just kind of a little thing to show you. So let's write. Perfect. So we have written out our whole paragraph here, but we know that it's a little long and we have to fit it onto this sheet. So what we are going to do is we're going to crop it down a little. So let's see what we wrote. We love participating in the 5K for Operation Smile. It was an activity that all 3 of us could be involved in. So we could edit that down a little bit and say, we love participating in the 5K for Operation Smile. George was even involved.
Okay.
Something like that. So don't be afraid to cross things out and start over. So see, you can shorten things up like that because you are telling the story, you just don't need it to be as wordy. We also loved Sticky Boy proposing to Sticky Girl, perfect. But the most exciting thing was being able to tour the home office. And I think that's good right there, because when people are going to be going through your storybook, they might ask you stories, and that's when you can tell more about it.
This isn't like an autobiography. This is just a few short sentences on what your memories are.
Yes. So this is what we're going to do for all 9 of our memories, and we will come back next week and we will show you what else to do with them. So this is just our base. Make sure you come back and you have filled out all of these cards. We are going to do more embellishing and more about the stamping and how to actually put the whole thing together next week. So just make sure that you write out all your cards, and we will see you next week. And that is finish step 2 of Stories by Stacy and the step 3. So make sure that you come back next week with all of those things written out. Don't think about it too much. We don't want you to overthink.
Right. It's supposed to be something that's intuitive. So just let like we did in step 1, you relax, take a deep breath, and just think about things and just write them down.
And you can write like my mom did, and then we correct it. So don't be afraid to write your feelings down and then simplify them from there. So come back next week with your 9 cards full and all matched up with your photos, and we will then get to embellishing and almost finishing that book.
So excited.
So yeah, this is really fun. And we actually now have a convention book done. Woohoo!
Yay!
So we feel accomplished here. We hope you do too. So, and a little plug. Did you see the pen that she was using? It's Imagination Destinations. So that's my travel business. So I am an independent travel agent as well. So I specialize in Disney, and I do Universal and all the cruise lines and SeaWorld and Busch Gardens and Sandals vacations. So if you're looking for a vacation for these little Story by Stacy albums, I'm your girl. There's no fees or anything like that. So let me know. Okay. That's my little plug.
Okay. That's enough.
All right. We'll see you next Tuesday.
Bye.
Can you move? Oh my God, I can't even move you, woman. It's too sticky.
Hot and sticky.
Prima donna over here. It's my heart, and we are here. You're really annoying.
So is that song.
And that is step.
It's hot in here. Okay, and that was Technique Tuesday.
And that. Your eyes were.
Ooh, okay. That's it. 1 minute. Stubby. Stop it. Stop it. Stop.
You're not high enough pitch.
Well, I could be.